Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body.
Hello. You are now tuned in to the A Little Bit A Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for joining me this week, guys. I cannot believe we are already halfway through the year. Man, I just feel like the older I get, the more life is just going on 2x speed. And I feel like I've said this before, but for some reason in 2026, I'm really feeling it. Okay. Life is getting crazy. The next thing you know is Love Island season. You know what I mean? Like, how is there already time for Love Island again when I'm still on a high from Nicolandria, right? Like, oh my goodness. But life has been, pretty cool lately. My boyfriend last week, well, technically this week, oh my God, see, my time perception is off. My boyfriend this week turned 30. I'm like February, March, April, May, 4 months older than him. I had to do the math real quick. I'm 4 months older than my boyfriend. And he just turned 30. So now we are officially a part of the Dirty 30 Club. And honestly, I think he had mixed feelings about it. Normally, my boyfriend, I'm very convinced he has ADHD. I have like inattentive, I'm pretty sure, but he has the other one that's like the opposite of that. So every morning he wakes up with this ridiculous amount of energy that I can't fathom ever having. So he has more of like hyper type of like energy, and mine is more like mental, like rumination type of stuff. So I'm like very grumpy in the mornings, but he always has lots of energy. But then for some reason on his birthday morning, he was quiet, honey. I'm like, oh, I think my boy is shook, honestly. So I feel like we both like kind of process 30 in different ways, but I'm hoping, I'm sure he'll be fine. He seems already better, and every morning since then he's been okay. I think he's just one of those guys who it's like, because my coworker said that they're the same way, where it's like, it's your birthday and you're kind of just like, well, I'm not expecting much. I feel like I don't really deserve anything. Like, if I get something, I get something. I'm not that type of way. Like, I love getting gifts. I love receiving gifts. And I love being like, yep, it's the queen's day. Everybody, like, be ready to, like, pay your respects to the queen. Like, I am expecting something. I am expecting the people in my life to make a big deal and make a big fuss. Where my boyfriend, he's like, no, I don't have any expectations. Like, it's not really a big deal. And it's like, no, me being a Pisces, it is a big deal. Okay? Like, you need to turn out for me. And so then he just like gets like super emo, and then, like I said, feels like he doesn't deserve anything, and then gets gagged every single year for his birthday and Christmas when he like receives like helly love. And then he comes home from his parents' house and he's like, oh my God, like they made this year, he went over there, they made him his favorite food. He had helly food that he had to bring in like multiple trips to bring in his food, and he had food to eat all week, to eat for lunch every day. He had enough leftovers to bring for lunch every day this week at work, and then also for dinner as well. So I didn't even have to cook. He didn't even have to cook. Like, I'm like, oh my God. They ended up like getting him some salad. We had some like dressing, croutons, some rolls. He also ended up having like a cookie cake. Also, some like cornbread muffins. His granny made him a roast, the whole like potatoes, veggies, like the whole nine. I can't remember what else he had in there. Some cabbage, like it was so much other stuff in there that I personally don't eat. Like, it's all his favorites. And he had helly food. Like, you would think that they like literally made like a catering order for a party. Like, that was so Clutchington. And he ended up getting like a bunch of money as well, plus the gifts that I got him. And he's like, oh wow, like I am loved, like my birthday was lit. And it's like, yeah, no duh. Like, I don't know why you always be acting like this and then be surprised, like, wow, everyone does love me. It's like, no, I go into it expecting my loved ones to show up and show out. So let me know, like, what kind of birthday person are you? Are you kind of the one that's like, eh, and like my boyfriend? Are you like, no, it's my B-day, everybody bow down? Like, what? Like, what's your energy? I don't know. But yeah, so today's episode, I just thought that I would talk about, like the show says, a little bit, a lot. I don't really have like a set, like, I feel like there hasn't really been too much going on, and there's no need to talk about Love Island because I release bonus episodes every week where I talk about that separately, so I don't have to talk about it on the main episodes. So for those who haven't caught up with that, be sure to catch up with that if you want to hear my thoughts on Love Island. This year I decided I will, in case you didn't see it, react to the episodes every night on TikTok, and then on Saturday mornings, since we get After Sun and like who watches After Sun, I will then take the compilation of all my TikToks from that week and then put them in one video and then release it as a bonus episode. So far, the bonus episode that we have out now is covering episodes 1 through 4 of this season of Love Island USA season 8. And then every Saturday, I'll continue to keep talking about it. So check that out after this if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on Love Island. But for now, I just figured I would just talk about some other things that have been like on my mind or that I've been looking at or watching, because ain't really much else been going on. So like we have the Michael Jackson movie. Kind of wanted to share some thoughts on that because Michael has been on my mind a lot ever since I watched this film, and I have a lot of thoughts that I never thought I would have about him, and I want to share and just talk about that and see what other people thought about the film. We've also got this current season of MasterChef, season 16. You guys know, if you listen to my show, I love watching MasterChef. I love watching Chopped. I also watch MasterChef Junior, and I also watch the Great Food Truck Race. Like, me and my boyfriend, we stand like the Food Network in this channel. So this season of MasterChef is crazy. And it's like, honestly, even if you're not interested in like culinary like stuff and you're not like someone who loves cooking and things like that, it's still reality TV. So even though I don't even love cooking, it's not a passion of mine, I actually hate doing it, I literally do it purely for survival, I still enjoy watching all of these cooking competition shows because I love reality TV. I love drama. Like, give me all the noise when it comes to that. So seeing Gordon Ramsay freak out every season is just so funny to me. So once again, we're in the thick of it right now, sweetie, when it comes to the new season of MasterChef. We've also got some thoughts on Burger King. Okay, there's some controversial opinions that have been talked about when it comes to Burger King this week. We need to open it up. We also have Latto's new album that a lot of people have been having lots of different thoughts on, and I'm like, don't know how I feel about that. So let's just talk about it. Let's just get into it. It's kind of just a mix of, a little bit here, a little bit there with my thoughts and feedback on certain things this week. Okay. So before we get into the episode, you already know the drill. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to give this episode a big like. Okay. Hitting the like button, that thumbs up button, helps more than you know. Okay. Lets the algorithm know that the girlies and the gays and days are here. Okay. They're turned up and they're living for this podcast. Okay. So if we want to grow the community and we want to grow the show, we got to hit that thumbs up button. Okay. So YouTube watchers, if you could please hit the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe. Okay. I looked at my analytics again a couple weeks ago, and I realized that 70% of my viewers now are not subscribed. What's the tea, y'all? I always say this, but I personally know from experience that it can be intimidating choosing to like pull the trigger and hit that subscribe button on a content creator. But if you hit subscribe on this podcast channel, like, you won't regret it. We talk about pop culture, mental health, music, movies, TV shows, and more, right? Like, literally in today's episode, we have pretty much all of those things that we're covering. Like, so if you want to join the community, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tell a friend. You know somebody that was loving the Michael Jackson movie, send this episode to them. You got a friend that loves MasterChef, send this episode to them. Sharing is caring, okay? And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, rate the 5 stars, leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. We got to get those 5 stars ratings up, okay? Like, come on, let me know, okay? Like, there's only one way that we can move forward with this show is if you guys speak up and give me your honest feedback and your opinions, so that way I can know what y'all are feeling. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's get into it. So, when it comes to the Michael Jackson movie, first of all, okay, I have like a lot of complicated thoughts because honestly, this Michael Jackson movie turned my opinion around drastically about him. And none of this is no shade, no tea, but I was born in 96, right? So growing up, I was at the last end of his life where the media was like completely obliterating Michael Jackson at this point. Like his reputation was pretty much shot in the media. Like his face was completely changed, pretty much like towards the last leg of like me growing up in the, early 2000s. And he completely did not look like what he used to look like. And now I know that a lot of like magazine publications and like media would like purposely try their best to like give everything they got to drag this man through the mud. But obviously, since I was, literally like 4 in 2000, I didn't know what was going on. And so, a lot of people have told me that they used to like Photoshop his face to like make his like nose look even smaller, make his lips look even redder and bigger, and just like try their best to make him look as crazy as possible. And like at the end of the day, to a certain extent, like, let's be real, no shade, to a certain extent he did look a bit crazy because like he went like nutso with the nose jobs. But like at the end of the day, once you watch this film, you like really realize the deep rooted trauma that I hadn't really understood like before as to why he did what he did. So I feel like this film was like a really great refresher for someone like around my age range who was born in 96 and grew up like in the early 2000s of like not really seeing anything good about Michael Jackson in the media. So if that's all I'm seeing, then of course I'm gonna be like, okay, like I'm young adolescent, like I'm just reading that Michael Jackson is like this questionable person, so I don't really know like the truth, And then on top of that, like with them exaggerating how he looked, I was scared. And I've said this before on my second podcast, Everything 2000s, that I was a kid who grew up scared of Michael Jackson. And this is not like a solo experience. There is a big chunk of children who were born around the same time as me who grew up scared of Michael Jackson because we didn't have the, privilege to see him when his skin used to be black, like before the vitiligo, before the surgeries, before the plastic surgery, like when he used to like really be fine. Like, let's really open up the the conversation. Michael Jackson was fine. Like he was literally T. I'm like, like bites pinky. Like he was really, really, really handsome, like really, really good looking. And, so it's just really sad to see, what he felt like he had to do with his face with the cosmetic surgeries. But yeah, so I did, see a lot of people say like around my age range that they grew up scared of him because, like I said, we didn't see him before he looked different, right? So, you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, so now that I'm older and we have these opportunities to get these films, coming from his family, and they're able to share his story, and we can like really get to know the real him. This kind of like woke up something for me where I'm like, no, like it is time for me to like, I'm 30, like I really want to wake this up and really get to know like who Michael Jackson really was versus like the narrative that the media wanted us to believe, in the early 2000s. And ever since this, movie came out, I really realized that I, of course, was looking at him from, the completely wrong lens. And that makes me so sad because now you realize like how much media really tried to play in this man's face. All of the interviews that he used to do where people would ask him these ridiculous like questions that were so stupid, so dumb, so insulting, so degrading, so invasive. And it's like, girl, how did his PR team not step in sooner in half of these interviews that he went through? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like celebrities have it hard now, period. But back then, when it was normal to literally just be on camera and be like, yeah, when he married Elvis Presley's daughter, I think, do you guys have sex? Like, what? What kind of question is that to ask a newlywed couple? What do you think? Like, what? Like, literally, dead the freak. Like, what do you think? seriously, guys, like this, I cannot believe, looking back at all of these clips and these interviews and everything like that, it's like, it's crazy. And like, one thing about me, I knew that this was going to come, right? Because ever since I was young, since I came out the womb, when I watch a movie and I see a film, I instantly become like, especially if I really liked it, I become kind of like obsessed with like everything that has to do with the lore of that film. And the next thing you know, I'm like watching a bunch of interviews from the cast, all of like BuzzFeed videos that they do where it's like, okay, the cast test how well they know each other, and like hearing like interviews of like how the cast was like, their audition process. Like, I love watching like behind the scenes of the directors and the producers talking about how the film was made. Like, you guys know that. So I was like, oh my God, like if I watch this Michael Jackson movie and this turns out well, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna really like get into it and like learn more about Michael Jackson than I ever had before. And that's what's been going on. And so my boyfriend's really been like living for this, because unlike me, he was never a kid that was scared of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, in fact, was one of Juwan's like first like celebrity idols. Okay. Ever since I've known my man, and we've known each other since 2010. And it all started when he was in 6th grade. For some reason, he ended up just like looking at stuff on the internet. He found Michael Jackson. He had a couple performances that he used to love watching over and over again. And he never played about Michael. So he was like so excited about this film. And so now that I have like a different appreciation for, him and who Michael was as a person, and his like music and his innovation and everything that he's contributed to like literally being the king of pop, my boyfriend's like, oh, I love this, like this newfound Michael Jackson appreciation that not only you have, but like the public has, So I just feel so sorry that I ever even, felt like, a way about his public perception. But then again, like, I gotta give myself grace. Like, I was literally a minor. Like, I didn't know any better. But now that I do, like, it's really been a lot of fun, like watching a lot of the clips, like I said, and getting to know like more of his personality. And I found out that like Michael Jackson is really, really funny. Like, he was really, really funny. Like, I'm gonna have to like put in the link in the description of this one video that I love watching, where he does a bunch of like funny little things, and there's like stories of like Steve Harvey talking about how he went to church with Michael one time, and Chris Tucker talking about how, what his experience was like when he went to the movies with Michael Jackson one time. Like, all of his like actual friends always had such funny stories to tell about him. And like a lot of his different clips that he would have in like interviews where like the interviewers weren't being weird and he could like show his true personality. He was just so funny. So that's been a lot of fun. But as far as the Michael Jackson movie itself goes, don't want to like, spoiler alert in case you haven't seen it, but I feel like it was really good. But at the same time, I still feel like I had mixed feelings about it, because it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I feel like if they wanted to label it as a concert film, they should have just said that, because it wasn't really like too many scenes where they had like moments to really shine when it comes to the acting. It almost seems like, okay, because like, let me read my Letterboxd review. Okay, I have so many mixed feelings about this film. It was almost like they didn't want to commit to going too far in depth of who Michael truly was as a person, so it felt kind of surface level. Like, yes, he was kind, yes, he loved animals, yes, he loved his family, he loved music, but tell me something that we don't already know about him. Like, these are things that we already knew. And then it mostly felt like it was a concert film. Like, the performances were more important to them than the actual storytelling in between. And that was like an issue that I had with the movie. Like, I know that, having the performances is like a moment, but at the same time, I would have much rather have us have like less performances and more actual, like I said, storytelling. So that's like one of my critiques with that. But even then, that I don't want to take away from the fact that the storytelling that we did get was pretty cool and the performance sequences were incredible. But I would have just rather had like more storytelling, I said, but overall, his nephew was incredible, in his role, because if you don't know, like, Michael Jackson's nephew played him in this new movie. He did great with the script that he was given. He was able to show us once again that Michael was a creative who hated being put in a box. He always wanted to innovate and push forward with new and fresh concepts because he craved independence. It also made me reflect on how tough it must have been for Michael to not have a normal childhood. He quite literally dedicated his entire life to music and entertainment, and he was treated so poorly by his dad and the media. It's so sad. May he rest in peace. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with part 2 when that's released. Maybe they will take everyone's feedback into consideration, because I watched quite a few reviews and a lot of people like I saw kind of felt the same way, where it's like, love the performances down, but like I really wanted a lot more acting. So yeah, that was like really, really cool. So that's the only reason why I gave it 3 stars out of 5, is because I wanted more acting rather than performance. But it was really nice, knowing that Michael Jackson's son was, an executive producer on this film, and that a lot of his siblings were involved in this. So yeah. And overall, like I said, in the review, learning more about the fact that like how creative he was, I think is something that I didn't really understand when I was young, right? Like, this man truly was an innovator. Like, he truly was like so ahead of his time when it came to him always wanting to push the envelope with sound and music and stuff like that. And, I think it's only natural, like when he's been doing, what he's been doing with his family since he was literally like 6 or 7, that as he gets older, he's like, okay, I've quite literally, like, this is all I've known. I want to start doing my own thing. And yeah, like, I think that he deserved to get more grace with that. And it sucks knowing that his dad gave him like so much pushback, like, dude, literally gave my entire childhood to the Jackson 5. If I want to serve a little cunty realness and do a solo like thing, I want to do a solo thing, especially since like all of the things that they were trying to do with the Jackson 5 were literally tired. Like, I saw a clip of Michael on tour and he was like, the reason why I don't like doing the, Jackson 5 songs is because they're old. And he said, the choreography's old. The songs are old. Jackie's old. And that was so funny. Like, his brother was like, nah, I get in it. So that's what had me LOLing. I'm like, oh my God, I wish they would have showed like so much more of his like funny, silly side in that way in the movie. Because the way he stayed coming for his brothers was like so funny to me. But it's like, that's real tea. Like, girl, like, listen, Joseph, I understand you're my dad. You're trying to say you want what's best for the family, but you have to trust me. I've been the front runner of this for this whole time. The people really come to see me. No shade. So if you, would just put your trust in me, I can lead the brand of just the Jackson brand in a new direction, even with the stuff that I do solo. So like, let the chokehold go, loosen up the reins and let Michael cook. Let him cook. Like, golly, like, it just once again, reminds you that his dad was severely mentally ill, deranged, strange, weird, not to mention the allegations that Michael's sister, I forget what sister it was it Latoya? So one of his sisters, I saw there was a clip, an audio of them alleging that their dad used to like sexually assault them as well. So not only were you allegedly sexually assaulting your daughters, but then you were physically beating your sons. And it's just like, what's going on? Like, you freaking weirdo. It's just so concerning how people can get away with being parents and then treat their children like this. And it's just so gaggy to me that Michael was able to go through all of the abuse that he went through in his home with his father and still be able to be such a creative at the same time. I feel like if I were to, grow up in a situation like that, it would be hard for me to be as creative as he was. But the fact that he was able to go through so much turmoil and agony with the abuse, verbal and physical, from his father, and still be such a hopeful, kind person, I think was also a good message that they really pushed through in this film. And, once again, that kind of woke it up for me to be like, yeah, like, that's just really cool that he was able to just still be so nice and, care about like, children and, like I heard a clip of him saying like, a lot of times like when men grow up in like an environment like he grew up in, then sometimes they end up doing the same thing to like their wives and their children. But Michael was like, no, like I want to be the opposite. Like children are supposed to be protected. They're supposed to be loved, like he wanted to be a dad so he could do better than what his dad did, and pour love into his children and not like hate and, like toxicity, right? And that's just always such a admirable thing when people like go through that type of trauma and they turn out and say, no, like I want to be better, I want to do good. And I really, really love that about Michael Jackson. Like, him just always prioritizing donating, to charity and, prioritizing like happiness and fun with his animals and stuff like that. And like part of that was like a little bit sad to me, of course, because, like you have that scene where he's looking outside, he wants to play with the kids. He can't play with the kids. And then so he leans on his animals and his snakes and his, pet rats and his giraffes and his, monkeys, because he was never allowed, it seems like after school to like prioritize having normal friendships with kids. And then they became famous. So then by the time, he wanted to have friends, then he's like, the kids don't even treat me the way that they treat other kids. So it's like, it's a chore for me to even make friends at this point. I can't be normal, and that has to feel so lonely. That has to feel so isolating. And like them kind of like portraying that loneliness, you really felt it in the film, where it's like, dang, like he really had a lot of moments where he just, was by himself. But at the same time, I also saw a lot of clips that talked about how, towards the later years of him like being in his 20s and stuff, that he was allegedly, in New York and like turning up and going out. So I'm like, okay, good. It's good to know that he used to like, there was some club I think they said that he used to go to and he would love to dance there. And I'm like, okay, period. So at least he had like some type of like sense of normalcy, I think I heard, during that era of his life. And then of course, like I said, he ended up getting friends like Chris Tucker and Steve Harvey and all of these other celebrities who, were also celebrities who could understand Michael Jackson's like, life. So that's nice that he was able to like get those friends, in his later adult years. But like I said, I'm pretty sure his adolescence was just so lonely in that way. So yeah, I also loved, just learning about how big he was into, positive affirmations. That's always just such a nice quality to have. So that was really cute to see. And yeah, I just overall think that it was just so sick and twisted once again that, his dad was just so deranged in the way that he was, and him always calling him a big nose and saying his nose was so big and so ugly, and them making fun of his like, hormonal acne. It's like, girl, like you were literally so tired. It just seems like his dad would just had like deep rooted, like inner, like hatred for his own race. Like I can't stand when a black person hates being black. Like that is so weird. Being black and having black features is the best thing that you could ever ask for. I would never in a million years want any other experience. Like his natural nose was so beautiful, so cute. Like, okay, God forbid somebody goes through acne. I'm probably was half of it was stress induced from his dad putting him through the ringer. So it's like, you're probably more than likely at fault for this, Joseph. Ugh. Terrible man. Like 0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. Then on top of that, he allegedly ended up having a side family. They didn't touch on that in the film, but I heard that Joe had a side chick and another kid. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to victim blame here, but I feel like more responsibility needs to be put on Michael Jackson's mom as well, because I cannot believe that you kept letting this man touch you and you kept having all of these kids knowing that this person was like awful. You know what I mean? And on top of that, was doing what he was doing to his sons, let alone the alleged SA that he was like displaying on his daughters. Because the clip that I heard, the daughter that alleged it said that the mom knew about it. So it's like, girl, at the end of the day, Like, I know that the movies, try to portray the mom as like being this sweet, kind, lady, but at the same time, it's F you. Like, no shade, no tea. Like, I cannot fully put my respect in any mom who doesn't advocate for their children. And I understand it was the 60s, they say like back then leaving your husband wasn't a thing. But at the same time, it's like, girl, I'm tired of the excuses, okay? Like, you should have done what you needed to do to get up out of that situation and stop your husband from treating your children like this. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So it's like, at the same time, do I want to give her grace because leaving your husband wasn't like a societal norm during that time? I guess, but it's like, I don't know. Like, even my grandma, who was physically abused by my grandpa, ended up having the guts to leave. So it's kind of like, girl, you could have did the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you could have worked it out. You could have figured it out. Like, you could have left that man and you didn't, and you let him keep doing what he was doing. And so much so that even in the movie, after Michael Jackson got his head burnt up, because his dad kept pushing him and doing the most and wouldn't let him cook. Now I'm here doing a commercial for a tour that I don't even want to do. And now I got 3rd-degree burns and nerve damage. And then his mom had the nerve to sit up there and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, Michael. I should have did more. And he turned over in the bed and said, oh, Mom, I don't want to talk about it. Clock it. Because it's like, girl, where's the JoJo? It's just a little too late. I'm always going to pull that quote because the JoJo quote is literally something to live by when people do you wrong. Like, girl, your apology is a little bit too late. Okay? I'm here burnt up to a mother freaking crisp and will never be the same after this. I have literal nerve damage. You can't fix that. You cannot fix nerve damage. And now you want to say sorry and now you feel like you should have done more? Girl, please. Like Michael said, respectfully, mother, you can keep it. Like, what? So yeah, overall, I cannot wait to watch this movie again. I also want to watch This Is It because a long time ago when that movie came out in theaters, my dad took us to see that and I did enjoy that film as well. Because my dad was a big Michael Jackson fan as well. And I really did enjoy This Is It. So check that out if you guys haven't already. But yeah, like the Michael Jackson movie was tea. It was tea. And so like now I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm in my Michael Jackson fangirl era. Like I'm just making up for 30 years of lost time where I wasn't like appreciating him like I should have. So I fully take responsibility for that. But like I said, at the same time, not too much on me because I was a kid. Okay. So I didn't know any better. But now that I'm an adult, I'm living, laughing, loving for Michael. He just seemed like he was just great. He was great. And, I'm just like looking forward, like I said, to seeing what this next movie brings because Jaafar ate he really ate that down. Okay, let's talk about MasterChef. So when it comes to MasterChef, I have been really enjoying this season. Like I said, it's season 16. And for those who don't know, we have 3 judges. We have Gordon Ramsay, we have Joe, and then we have Chef Tiffany, I believe is her name. I low-key miss Aaron. Like, Aaron used to be a judge, and for some reason they replaced him with Chef Tiffany. But at the end of the day, I can't complain too much because like she's a Black woman. So it's like, I'm always going to be here for like having a Black woman have a platform. But honestly, they should have just like then swapped Joe and then had it be Aaron, Tiffany, and Gordon. Like the freak, like if you watch MasterChef, you know that Joe is literally a freaking loser. Like I can't stand that man. Like, he's so annoying. He's always looking for drama. He's always looking for problems. He's extremely blunt. And like a lot of times it just comes off as rude. And allegedly the man can't even cook like that for real. Like he's not even actually a chef. So for you to get on here and be critiquing these people's food the way that you do when you don't even really have the credentials to do so is kind of crazy. Other than the fact that you've been a judge on this show for like forever. But whatever. So once again, this season of MasterChef is different because they're doing it with a twist like they did with like last season where they're doing everything in like teams. I personally don't really like this format when it comes to MasterChef. I like it better when it's kind of every man for himself. But like when they do it in teams, it's to where like you're competing with your team and then they choose whoever was the best and the worst in each team, right? And then if you end up getting like the best dish in that team, then your whole team is like safe from elimination. So you could have the worst dish of the night, but if someone else in your team did good, then you're safe. I don't like that. Like, I understand, it works out and it's beneficial for the contestants, but it's like, I miss when it was really every man for himself. Like, sometimes some of these people's dishes are so awful where it's like, no, sister, you should not have been able to be safe from that. You know what I mean? But whatever. So this year they did it to where they have put everybody in groups based on their global regions. So it's based on like their ethnicity and like their history. So they split it up to where we have groups of teams from Europe, we have team Africa, we have team Asia Pacific, and then we have team the Americas. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different groups, I believe is all the groups. I don't think I'm missing one. I'm reading an article. And yeah, okay, Gordon Ramsay, Tiffany Derry, and Joe Bastianich. I don't even know how to say Joe's last name. Like, skip him. And then, of course, at the end of the competition, there is one winner, though, right? So eventually the teams end up, like, not mattering in the end because they can only have one winner. And that person ended up winning, like, $250,000. That's the prize. So they're calling this season MasterChef Global Gauntlet. And then last season, they did it based on the teams, based on their age. So they had like the boomers. I can't remember. Was it boomers? Baby boomers? They had Gen Z, millennials. You know what I mean? That was interesting. So yeah, that's basically how MasterChef is rocking this season. But there has been lots of things that have been going on specifically during their first field challenge that have made this season so funny and worth watching, in my opinion. Because one thing about MasterChef, when it comes to the field challenge gets crazy and chaotic so quick. It's so insane. So basically in the field challenge, if you don't watch the show, they basically have to like leave the MasterChef kitchen and they're like literally on the field. Like they're in the middle of like heat of battle and they bring a bunch of like real people in, and there's usually like at least over 50 people, right? If not like 100 that they have to feed, and they have to feed them in a certain amount of time. And like the line keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. So they got to make sure that they're keeping up with the food as more and more people come in to get fed. So naturally it gets chaotic because you have real people waiting on you to try the food. So if it's not ready, then they are left waiting. You know what I mean? So you have to be quick. You have to organize your menu well, right? They have to decide, what are we going to serve these people? And they have to read the room. So like, if you have a bunch of kids, you don't want to do this like overly like classy, refined menu and be like scallops and like lobster tail, because like kids don't really like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like kids want burgers, chicken tenders, like sandwiches, stuff like that. So they have to not only like group, like get put into teams and have 30 minutes basically to decide what their menu is going to be based on who the demographic of who they're serving. Then they have only a certain amount of time to then make a plate so they can show the judges, okay, this is what we're going to serve these people. And then once they get the okay, like they get feedback on like, okay, this is working, this isn't working, they make changes, and then they have to prep and start, getting ready to cook, because they're like, okay, like the kids are going to be coming in like 30 minutes, so get ready. So it's just chaotic. And like this season, for some reason, like the first field challenge, they were saying like they had to do like a minimum requirement, like you need to have one main like dish, right, like a sandwich or something, and then like 2 sides. And then for some reason one of the teams was like, we're gonna do like 4 sides or 3 sides, and it's like guys, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're feeding children Okay, so it's not like they have like these huge appetites. They don't need any more of the sides than what's required. So I don't know what was going on in their mind when as a group they decided to do more than the required amount of sides. Then on top of that, every single time they went to go try to like show Gordon and like the rest of the judges, like, okay, this is what we got. Then Gordon's like, well, what happened to this? They were like, oh, we decided not to do that anymore. It wasn't working. And Gordon's like, guys, like, this is why y'all should have never been extra from the start. Like, you just need to do the literal minimum. Like, we're asking for is 2 sides, and y'all are overcomplicating it. So that was funny. Like, and then it's just always crazy because it's like when they do these challenges and they have to like make all this food for like all of these people in this short amount of time, they always assign a team captain. And for some reason, the team captain always is like, yep, I got this. And then once the challenge starts, everybody's like, hey, okay, what should we do here? What do we do? And then the captain almost always gets overwhelmed, and they almost always end up like crashing and burning. And then like, it just never ends up good. And like, more than likely, if the team does bad, it's because the team captain didn't really do a good job at like driving the boat and steering the ship and like keeping the team like organized. And so then more than likely, like, the team captain ends up just being at fault, and like it's their responsibility, and then they almost always end up getting sent home. So it's kind of like, at this point, it's 2026. If I were to go on MasterChef, I would never volunteer to be the team captain. First of all, I don't love being in leadership roles. I think that is something that I could excel in and I would be good at, but do I have the mental capacity to see it through? No. Like, I could do it, but at what cost? My mental health? It's not worth it, you know? So you would never catch me volunteering to be the team captain for any challenge like this if I was on a show like that. Like, it's sick. But I found this like funny compilation of a lot of like the crazy moments from the season so far that I wanted to share with you guys. So you're gonna have to come over to video to see this. It says the MasterChef season 16 team challenge, but it just gets more chaotic as the video progresses.
You don't know how to cook or...
No, I do. I just want to see if it was okay, but...
You want to see it off, Nico, will you? You know how to cook orzo. Is it cooked?
No.
No. I mean, seriously. Next you'll be coming to me asking to change the diaper.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
So you're doing more than what...
Okay, what makes me laugh so much about this part is like, why did this guy, his name is Nico, I think that this was a good idea? He's in the middle of a busy field challenge. They have several dozen people to feed. Like, it's really intense. So they have so much work to do. And then in the middle of cooking, he's like, okay, I think this is good. So I'm going to go ask Gordon Ramsay if he thinks that this like part of the dish or whatever that I'm working on looks good and it's up to par. That's not a good idea, because of course then Gordon immediately gets irritated and he was like, what the heck? Like, why are you asking me if I think it's good? Like, you should have the confidence to know that it's good or not, right? Like, what's going on? Like, now I feel like I'm having to babysit you. Like, get the frick out of my face. Like, and it's like, I know what he tried to do. Like, he thought that it was going to be a flex to be like, hey, Gordon, want to try this out? And then maybe Gordon would eat it and be like, yummy. Like, you're a genius, son. You're such a prodigy cook. Like, this is incredible. But in theory, Gordon's not that type of person. He's going to be like, get out of my face. Like, why do you need me to test this? Like, ask your teammates or literally trust your own gut instincts. Like, you're supposed to be contending for the next MasterChef. Like, that's not MasterChef behavior. If you have to ask somebody else, oh, is this good? Like, you should know it's good or not. So I thought that was funny.
Need it.
The brief is what?
2 sides.
And you're doing 4 sides.
It was too much.
Way too much.
This is what we switched to.
3 sides? Oh, my goodness. What was the brief?
2 sides,
2 sides. And how many's in there?
3.
Ten.
Right.
What have we dropped now?
Too many
Because the
sides.
Orzo is back.
We dropped the... I don't know right now, chef.
You don't know right now. Oh, my gosh. Where's the Orzo?
I feel so bad. Like, this is Ted right now, the team captain, and he is just so frazzled like the whole time, which most team captains are. Like, the fact that he doesn't even have answers for anything that Gordon's asking him is crazy. He's like, you know what? I actually don't know. That is so humiliating. Like, I feel kind of bad.
Get it.
And the crudité?
The crudité we pulled out. We thought it was too much then.
And that is an insult as a cookie.
What was it about the cookie that they didn't like?
He didn't like the flavor.
He didn't like the flavor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna scrap the cookie.
Okay. Oh. Damn, okay. Like, they hated the flavor. No cookies. Please, God, help me.
Can you get cookies in 5 minutes?
I thought that was so funny. Oh, damn, I hated the flavor. Like, that was such a Gen Z response. Because, like, that is so sick. I'd be, like, once again, so humiliated if I was her. Because she was in charge of the cookies. And so the fact that they hated the flavor, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go jump off a cliff. Like, what?
In 5 minutes.
Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Go.
And then they're like, no, actually, never mind. Cookies are back on.
What? I can't even feel frustrated or confused because I'm trying to crank out these cookies as fast as humanly possible.
The cookie's on, the orzo's off, the cookie's off, the orzo's back on.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Do we have caramel sauce for the judges?
No.
Just don't know if that's cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, he's cutting the chicken sandwich.
It's pink. I'll be damned if I'm serving raw chicken, pink chicken to kids, okay?
Yeah, that's gotta go longer.
It's still pink. You're gonna kill these kids.
Oh, God.
It's still pink. It's still pink. For sake.
The kids are like,
Over ears.
oh.
Somebody change it up.
When he told the kids to cover their ears so he could yell at the team more, I was LMFAOing like, oh my God, like, this is so bad that he had to tell the kids, cover your ears so I can cuss them out. Because I just don't understand how we still are in 2026, like I said, and we do these team challenges and these people time and time again, field challenge after field challenge, year after year, season after season, still get in the field and they serve raw meat every time. It does not fail that every field challenge, I've said it before, Gordon is going to yell at them because there is some meat that is raw. It's crazy.
Before we kill somebody.
Yes, please.
It's still pink.
It's still pink, guys.
I have no idea why we're doing this to ourselves. I swear to God, it's actually coming out rawer. What are we doing? What in the are we doing?
He kicked the chicken fillet.
Come
He kicked
on.
it.
We saw Gordon Ramsay's signature move.
Who's angry? You like when Gordon throws food on the floor?
Yeah, super cool.
Super cool. You don't like waste of food? It's true.
Come back for the chicken.
Hey, Gordon.
Maybe not come back for the chicken. Maybe come back for salmonella.
It's
Hey,
wrong.
blue team.
It's wrong.
7-year-olds don't eat beef tartare.
Guys,
it's a burger and it's
if you're not watching, he just threw a hamburger patty on the ground. And I don't think I've ever seen a hamburger patty be that raw on the inside. Like, this is crazy. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, how did you serve that raw? Thank God Gordon cut it open because that is crazy. And he threw that on the ground too. And it's just so funny to me how the kids are like, yeah, we got to see Gordon yell. Like, bucket list check. Like, what? Okay, and then here is a scene coming up where the grill catches on fire. Out of all the seasons of MasterChef and these cooking competition shows that I personally have watched, have never seen, especially on MasterChef and a field challenge, or really any episode of MasterChef I've watched, seen the grill catch on fire.
singe your hair.
Yeah.
I'm watching these two knuckleheads setting the place on fire.
Turn it off.
No, it's off. They're both off.
No, that's on.
Guys, do you need help in anything?
Get your head out your ass and open your eyes. They're on fire, you idiot.
Wait, watch out, guys.
Watch out.
Gordon's about to catch on fire, trying to put the fire out. And the fact that she called them knuckleheads was so LOL.
Fire.
That genuinely had me laughing so much. Like, I could not believe it. Like, the raw chicken, the raw beef, the kids laughing at Gordon cussing out the team. It was just so much. Like I said, the theatrics of him throwing the food. like, and it was crazy because the grill the grill caught on fire because the dude that was on the grill was grilling the hamburgers, but he wasn't cleaning the grill enough. And like the grease, I guess, kept dripping down from the burgers. And then that's what ended up catching on fire was the burger grease. And Gordon kept telling him before it caught on fire, like, clean your grill. Like, the grease is like starting to get smoky. Like, do something about this. And then once the burgers and the grill caught on fire, he's still standing there cooking up the burgers as if it's literally not on fire. Like, dude, you need to do something. Like, and then it was just so crazy because the kids were like, oh, my eyes, like everything's smoky. Like, it was burnt the freak up in there. Like, smoke 3000. Like, now the children can't even see because everything's so cloudy because of the fire. Like, no one's going to move to try to put this fire out until Gordon Ramsay steps in and he's like, hey, put the fire out. Okay. Also, let's talk about this Burger King stuff that's been going on. So first of all, I had saw the Good Children podcast with Andrew and Joe. They were talking about how they didn't like Burger King and how Burger King was disgusting. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I feel that way about Arby's. No shade. If you're an Arby's lover, like, it's really, I don't mean any offense, but Arby's is literally disgusting. The only thing that they've ever had at Arby's that I like is their Italian sub. And they like took it away. They brought it back last year and then they took it away again. So it's like, there's really nothing else there for me because every time I get a salad, it makes my stomach hurt. Their chicken sandwiches are always literally never fresh and hot and they're dry and hard. Same thing with their chicken tenders. It's like, girl, what? Like, what's the issue? And I'm not a roast beef type of girl. I'll never forget one time my mom tried to make us eat one of those like beef sandwiches when we were young, because they were like on the sale for like a deal where you get like buy one, get one or something. And she's like, yeah, this is what we're going to eat for lunch. And it's like, girl, you're setting yourself up for failure. Personally, I would never do half of those things that my mom did as a parent just to save my mental like health. Because if I already know that my kids don't like this, why then try to force them to eat something they don't like just because I need to save money? You're just going to waste your money. You're wasting the money that you did spend on this lunch because you knew that we weren't going to eat this. So like being held hostage to like eat Arby's is like a trigger on mine. So I really don't F with Arby's for real. But it's like the Burger King conversation. I feel like it's like, okay, I don't really want to take any slander and tolerate any slander when it comes to Burger King. First of all, they have the ices, right? The cherry mother freaking icy at Burger King is so good. They just recently came out with a high C icy as well. The high C icy. Okay. But it kind of tastes like Fanta instead of actual high C. So I'm like, this is offensive, but whatever. I'm gonna let them live. Then you have the chicken fries. Half the time when you get the chicken fries, are they gonna be fresh? No, but they're still good. And Burger King's barbecue sauce ain't nothing to play with. You get you an 8-piece chicken fry and a barbecue sauce. It's not ever a game, not a joke, not kiki cuckoo kaka. Nothing's funny when it comes to me versus a chicken fry. And then they recently had their garlic parmesan chicken fries that they did for their Star Wars collab. Those were good too. And then you have their onion rings. A lot of people feel a ways about their onion rings. I really like them, especially with that onion ring sauce, that zesty sauce that they have. So good. And then also like the Burger King fries themselves are good. So fries hit, onion rings hit. Then you can also get the half-sies, right? So you can get, as your side, you can get half fries, half onion rings. That is so clutch, right? Chicken fries hit. Even their grilled, like their hamburgers, the charbroiled, whatever, like the little hamburgers, like that come in like the kids meal. Those hamburgers are so good. Let alone the Whopper. Okay. Like, what? Like, a Burger King Whopper is so freaking quality. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you got a quality patty. You got the lettuce. You got the, like, their mayo is so good. Like, the ketchup, like, the tomato, like, soft bun. Like, what's going on? Like either a Whopper or a Whopper Jr. both hit, right? So hamburgers, chicken, A1. Even their royal chicken sandwich is good. Add bacon. Oh my God. Like, don't play with her. Then they also have a sandwich called the Chicken Junior, which is basically like the size of their like regular little hamburgers. That Chicken Junior is really good too. And it's always cooked to order. That's always guaranteed going to be fresh, at least at the locations near me. You order a Chicken Junior, they're always going to pull you up, you know? And then on top of that, their fruit punch is good. Like their drinks, like I said, are good. So then on top of that, they have, you know, their breakfast options. Their sausage croissant sandwich for breakfast with those hash browns hit. They hit. And then, of course, we have the original chicken sandwich. That long chicken sandwich is so good. And I saw a TikTok about it that I wanted to share with you guys. Hold on.
You're wondering why Burger King still serves this disgusting, nasty chicken sandwich? The reason is me. I love this sandwich. It's the best sandwich. I will never quit eating this sandwich. It's horrible, but like in all the right ways. Like hot mayo, hot lettuce. It's long for no reason. There's no reason for it to be that shape. No other chicken sandwich is that shape, except for the classic chicken sandwich. And there's really no reason. They never explained it. But yeah, I love that sandwich. They have 2 for $5s. Yeah, I eat them both.
I never got the 2 for $5.
I'm not going to microwave it. That's how I justify it, eating 2 in my car. It's like the 2 regret sandwiches. Throw some cheese on it. Yeah,
no cheese for me on that. But yeah, like I don't know how to explain it. Like sometimes the original chicken sandwich is the one menu item that does have a slightly nasty aftertaste. Like he said, like it's kind of nasty, but at the same time, it's still so good. Especially when you get one that's fresh. You bite into it, it has so much juice that's inside of it that literally will like drip out of the chicken sandwich, and you're like, oh my God, like this is juicy. Somebody in the comments said that it's kind of like spongy as well, and I'm like, that's true. The texture of the original chicken sandwich is a little bit spongy. It is, when you think about it, I guess inherently kind of gross, but it is so good to me. Like I don't know, I just live, laugh, love for a Burger King moment, and I just feel like we needed to wake it up. When it came to the Burger King of it all, okay? And then I also wanted to kind of like briefly talk about this Latto album. She recently came out with an album called Big Mama, and it has a lot of people in a tizzy, and a lot of people are having a lot of negative opinions when it comes to this album, and I don't really understand why everyone is being so negative. Like, geez Louise. Like, at the same time, to a certain extent, I get where people are coming from. You know, they want the best for this girl. I've talked about it before. So her marrying someone or having a baby with someone like 21 Savage, who is allegedly married, but then she said he wasn't. And it's like, I don't know the truth. I don't know if this man is allegedly married legally for like documentation purposes or not. Okay, we don't know, because then we found out that he's allegedly an immigrant and he's from the UK. So maybe he needed to keep being legally married for his like green card purposes. I don't know what the drama is, but at the end of the day, if he's with her, then that obviously means that even if he is legally married, he's separated. So it's kind of like, why is everyone making it a big deal? I guess because the like logistics of it, like on paper, look bad. But if he's not with that person and they are separated, then there's no problem with what he does in his new relationship. Like, I'm kind of confused about that. But, you know, not everybody is happy with that. But at the end of the day, it's her life. It's her choice. It's her tea. You know, it's her relationship. And I feel like they've shown that they've been a solid couple, her and 21 Savage, allegedly. for a couple of years now. So it's kind of like, should we even continue to be concerned? Like, clearly she's talked about, and my man, thank you to my man, that she's, been happy for years now in this relationship. She's, seemingly, very, like, she says she gets treated well. So it's kind of like, I could see if she wasn't being treated right, then it would be like even more concerning. But it seems like it's been one of her best relationships that she's ever been in. So I'm not really too like pressed about it, because as long as, she's being treated right and she's happy, then isn't that all that should matter? Like, it's kind of like, at the end of the day, it's like your little sister. If she has a boyfriend, you're kind of like, okay, I'm not really feeling it. Like, the choice of the guy and like the circumstance, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. The baby's here. You can't change time. So what's the point of continuing to give her a hard time about it? Like, you can't take this back and undo the baby. So all we can do going forward is just try our best to like support her, Like, I don't know why people aren't really wanting to prioritize the support, in my opinion. Like, I understand you're not happy with the baby daddy choice, but like, guys, they've been together for so long now. So like, let's just move on and move forward and try to just keep doing what we can to support her. If she's happy, then we just gotta let her be happy. Like, I don't get it. And like, postpartum is no joke, okay? So I don't want this negativity to like negatively affect her, because having a baby is just something that is just so intense. And then having everybody have their comments, about the situation has got to just be like so sick and demented feeling. So I just kind of feel bad, like, dang, where's the humanity? Like, where's the grace? Like, at the end of the day, if she said she chose to have this baby, if she wanted to do this for her, then we just got to let her have that, because at the end of the day, the baby's here. Okay? So let's support, this new mom during this time, in her career, because she clearly said she didn't want her baby to stop her personal business goals either. She could have very well took time off during this pregnancy and not chose to continue to keep doing the album. But she said, no, I had already wanted to do an album, and then I just so happened to get pregnant. So I decided I'm just going to stay committed to what I wanted to do with doing an album, and realize that like the pregnancy shouldn't stop me making the album just because I'm pregnant. And that was really nice, because she did this interview with this one lady for like, was it Apple? I don't even know. Some black lady that she did like postpartum a few weeks ago that was released, and it was really nice, like just hearing Latto talk about her process with making Big Mama, and how she said that, typically when she used to be in the studio, she would just like, to hit a couple hits of the blunt, have a couple shots, and that's kind of how she would like get in the zone. But now that she made the album when she was pregnant, she was just like, you can't really do no shots, you can't really hit no blunt, like turn up, like you got to just be sober. So she said, this kind of like process really reminded her like, yeah, like I really know what I'm doing when it comes to this rap thing. I've been doing this for, a majority of my life. And it kind of made me like fall back in love with music and back in love with like the writing process. And I thought that was really nice to hear. And I feel like you can hear that, in this album. And so a lot of people, when it comes to the Big Mama album, were like critiquing it and saying that they didn't like the fact that it was like one big love letter to 21 Savage. And, it's just a bunch of love songs about her and this man. And I'm like, guys, once again, they've been together for years. So wouldn't every other love song that she did on every other album have also been about 21 Savage? And y'all didn't complain about it then. And we all knew that they were allegedly together. Like, how much more evidence do we need other than like a baby to show that they were together? Like, there had been multiple like, times where 21 had posted her on his story. I think it may have been on accident. Maybe he meant to put it on his close friends. And then there was that one time where like we saw that she had a tattoo of his name on the back of her neck or the back of her ear. What else evidence did y'all need? Okay. So it's like we already knew during her last album and the one before that she was with 21 Savage, and we weren't complaining about all of the love songs then, because since she's been with this man for the last few years, it has brought out her lover girl side, and she's made a lot of lover girl songs on her albums, and then mixed in with like the turned up Get Money Girl type songs as well. That's been her formula. So I'm just like really kind of confused why all of a sudden, because of the baby, then all of a sudden everybody's like, I don't like it. But then when we had Sugar Honey Iced Tea, nobody was complaining about the love songs on that album. Like when you go back to Sugar Honey Iced Tea, she's got a song like called H&M, where she says in the lyrics, I'll be submissive for you, hold that pistol for you, blowing kisses at you. Okay, let's talk about how she's holding it down for her man. She's got another song on here called Copper Cove, where she says, baby, let me know what's brackin', busted for you, never lacking. I want to know your attraction. Is it the face, body, or the accent? Show up for me, never absent. F me like you didn't Aspen. Swear you was trying to make a baby that night the way you was acting. Okay, that's another love song. She's got another song featuring Coco Jones on Sugar Honey Iced Tea, the last album, called Ear Candy. It sounds like ear candy, the sweet things you say to me. You say them words I can taste. I hear you loud, that ear candy, you make it sound so sweet. Love song. Like, I'm so confused. Like, this is a thing. Like, when it comes to being an artist, like, so what? She's supposed to just not all of a sudden her love songs, y'all ain't living for them because you now guaranteed know that she had a baby with this hitter? I don't know. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? I feel like it's just kind of hypocritical for people to now suddenly hate the love songs because they for sure know now that it's about 21, even though we knew it was about 21. Like, I don't know. Besides that, I do like this album because I'm a Latto stan. So I enjoyed Business and Personal, the intro. I felt like that was a good moment to choose for the intro. Get Money Girl is such a good song. Her name dropping Olandria, clock it. So cute. My other favorite song is Chrome Heart Diaper Bag. I love when like Latto gets in her like mode where she kind of like does like Drake, where she's like singing a little bit, like melody rapping, like pull up in the money, they say. Like, that's just so cute, and like just it sounds so good to my ears, to me. Like, I don't even know. I love Chrome Heart Diaper Bag. She did a performance of that on one of those like on the block shows or whatever the freak a few days ago, and that was really good. I also love Okay featuring Doja Cat. Oh my god, that song. Okay. And Doja Cat ate this verse. She ate this verse. Everything about Doja Cat's verse I love, and like all of like Doja Cat's little ad libs in the background are just so aesthetically pleasing to the ear. And then we have another song with 21 Savage. Guys, 21 Savage has been on like her last like 3 projects. Are you kidding me, guys? Like, this is nothing new. But then all of a sudden, this 21 Savage feature, everybody wants to overanalyze. What about every other 21 Savage? They have done several songs together. No, I think he was on the album before last. 777 maybe? Yes. Wheelie. So he was on the album before last. And then the one before that, Queen of the South. So that's dating back to 2020. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, 21 Savage was on that album too. So this is the 3rd album of hers that 21 Savage is featured on. But then all of a sudden, everybody's over analyzing this feature. And I guess the song is kind of like a boyfriend, girlfriend, like type of relationship song. And people are like, he got on the song talking about other women. He's a rapper. That's what rappers do. That's usually how he raps. lots of, you know, men in relationships and men that are married and have kids. That's just what they do. It's part of the game. Oh my God. I also like Death Row. I like On That. I like Gimme That. And that's pretty much it. The last half of the album I don't like as much. Especially the song with like Jelly Roll. I'm like, girl. And I'm saying this, like I said, as a Latto defender. No shade. But I don't like Jelly Roll. I do not like Jelly Roll. So I was like, girl, you could have kept that. You could have kept that. But the song is like cute. You know, it's a song about her mom and motherhood. And like now that she's having a baby, you know, she appreciates her mother like that much more for all of her sacrifices. So it's like I can't hate on the song too much because the concept of the song is cute. But I hate the Jelly Roll feature. I hate it. But overall, I wouldn't say that this album is like as horrible as people are making it. But was Sugar Honey Iced Tea from 2024 better? Yes. Like, there will never be another album like Sugar Honey Iced Tea. She put her motherfucking foot in that album. And she did with Big Mama too, but I just personally like Sugar Honey Iced Tea and 777 better. But that doesn't mean that Big Mama is bad, you know? So I don't know. And then of course we have all the drama going on with like her and Cardi B, and people feel a ways about how, you know, Cardi B tried to apologize about accidentally being exposed where she was, you know, calling Latto basically weak for making up with Ice Spice. And Cardi was like trying to reach out to her to say sorry, but Latto didn't really want to, you know, talk to her. And so then Latto waited until her album released to like basically clap back and diss Cardi B. So then Cardi B felt some type of way because she was like, girl, I've been trying to reach out to you, but then you didn't wait to respond until you dropped your album. Like, huh? And it's like, Cardi, you're not entitled to get access to Latto again just because you said sorry. Like, those, like, multiple things can be true at once. Like I always say, like, Cardi, what she did was messed up, and I like that she took accountability for that. But that doesn't mean that Latto has to be your friend again, you know, because like what you did was crazy. So at the end of the day, though, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna like listen to Cardi's music. I'm still gonna listen to Latto, Ice Spice, Meg, all the girlies. I don't care. Y'all got y'all personal beef, and I'm still gonna support you all, you know. So whatever. But I just feel like y'all need to chill, bruh. Like, not too much on Latto, bruh. Dang. She's just a girl. She's just a mom. She's just a new mom. But yeah, so this episode was like way longer than I thought it was going to be. But hey, when you love yapping, you just get lost in the sauce sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I got for you. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, be sure to give this episode a like on YouTube if you can. Like I said, it really helps the show. And subscribe, okay? I am on my road to my first 1,000 subscribers on this channel, so I would really appreciate it if you aren't already subscribed to subscribe, or tell a friend to subscribe so we can hit that 1K. And like I said, Spotify, Apple, rate that 5 stars, leave a review to let me know what you think about the show, and follow me on socials. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at A Little Bit A Lot Podcast. I also have a coloring channel, TikTok and Instagram at Coloring with Kristen, and I stream on Twitch as well at Gaming with Kristen. So all of the things you need to find me anywhere ever on the internet will be linked in the descriptions. So yeah, with that, I will be seeing you guys probably the day that you're listening to this is released. I'll see you tomorrow because we'll talk about Love Island week 2, right? And yeah, so with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.